Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your love and support on my channel. And if you are new here, please click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and stitch this beautiful bustier top. So now let's jump right into the tutorial. This is the front pattern and I already have some lines on it. The top of the paper is the shoulder line, next is the chest line, I have the bust line, the under bust line, and the waist line. The length of this front pattern is 18 inches. So now I'll go in with the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch allowance, and also I'll mark it on the chest line. Then I'll connect with a ruler. Next, I'll plot the neckline. I'll be using 3 inches width and 3 inches depth for the neckline. Then I'll connect with my curve. I'll come down by 1.5 inches for the shoulder slope and I'll connect back to the neckline. Next, I'll go in with the bust measurement divided by 4. I'll make a mark there. Then I'll go up from the chest line by 3 inches. I'll make a mark there. Then I'll go in by 0.75 and make a point there. Then I'll connect with a curve to form the armhole. So I connected those 3 points together to form the armhole. I'll divide the waist measurement by 4 and add 1 inch allowance for that. Make a mark and I'll connect with a ruler. I'll go in with the nipple to nipple measurement now, divided by 2. Then I'll mark it on the chest line and waist line and I'll connect with a ruler. I'll go in by ½ inch on both sides and I'll connect straight to the bust line. Next, because this is a bustier top, I'll come up by 1.5 inch from there and I'll use my curve to connect to the armhole from that point. After marking that, I realized that it's a little bit high on the neckline part, so I came down by ½ inch and I'll connect back with my curve. So I think this is better. So I won't be using the one on top, I'll be using the second one. So now I'll extend the nipple to nipple measurement up, just like you see me doing. Then I'll go out by 0.75 on both sides. This is to tighten the neckline. Then I'll connect back to the bust line. So now we have to tighten the under bust too. So I'll just go in by ½ inch on both sides. I'll mark ½ inch on both sides and I'll connect with a curve to the bust line. After connecting to the bust line, then I'll connect with a straight line to the waistline. I'll mark the bust dart now. To determine the measurements for the bust dart is the difference between the front half length and the back half length. The difference between the front and back half length of the measurement I'm working with is 2 inches. That is why you see me marking 2 inches. I marked 1 inch twice. That is why I have 2 lines there. So that means the bust dart of this measurement I'm working with is 2 inches. So this simply means that the back, while drafting the back half length, the length of the back will be 16 because this one I drafted here is 18 inches. The length of this front pattern is 18 inches. So that means for the back pattern, the length will be 16 inches because we've taken 2 inches for bust darts. So now I'll just close the bust darts with a tape. And I'll use my ruler to connect the lines to make it straight back. And also if there's any pointy part at the bust point, I'll use my curve to correct it. From this pattern, you can see that we have a yoke from our pattern, but I won't be making use of this yoke because I'll be adding strips to the top. So this yoke will help us determine the length of the strips. But in case you don't want strips for your own top, you can make use of the yoke. Now to the back pattern. I already have some lines on the pattern paper. I have the shoulder line, the chest line, and the waistline. From shoulder to waistline is 16 inches. That is the length of the back pattern. So now I'll mark 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. I'm marking with a pencil because we'll still alter the zip allowance. So for now, I'll just mark with a pencil. I'm marking 1.5 inches for zip allowance with a pencil. Next, I'll go in with the shoulder measurement. Shoulder divided by 2 plus half inch allowance. I'll mark it on the shoulder line and the chest line, and I'll connect with a ruler. For the neckline, I'll use a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 2 inches, and I'll connect with a curve. I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope and I'll connect back to the neckline. I'll go in with the bust measurement now. Bust divided by 4, and I'll mark it on the chest line. Then I'll get the midpoint from the shoulder slant. I'll get the midpoint and make a mark there. And from that mark, I'll go in by half inch and mark it also. Then I'll connect those 3 points together to form the armhole. I'll go in with the nipple to nipple measurement. I'll mark it on the waistline and also on the chest line, and I'll connect with a ruler. Remember I said we'll still alter the zip allowance. Now to eliminate any bulge at the back of the top, I'll go in by 0.75 inch on the waistline. I'll mark 0.75 inch and I'll connect back to the top. So now because we have altered the zip allowance I marked earlier, I'll mark the 1.5 inches again like you see me doing, and I'll connect with a ruler. So that will now be our new zip allowance. So that part I'm shading will be cut out so that we don't get confused. Now we'll mark the waist measurements. Waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance for that. Then I'll connect with a straight line to the chest line. I'll come down by 1 inch. That is where the dart will start from. I'll mark half inch on both sides and I'll connect with a straight line. And that is for the dart. We are done with the back pattern. For this back pattern, the yoke will start from the chest line. Remember I said we don't need the yoke. It is just to serve as a guide for us to know the length of the strips we'll be attaching to the top. I'll cut it out now. I have transferred the patterns to fabric. I added half inch round the patterns, but for the side joining, I added 1.5 inches. I have cut out the interfacing and the lining also. I have also cut out the strips I'll be attaching to the top. I measured the back and the front yoke. I measured it together and I used it to cut the strips. I added half inch allowance for stitching. I have added the interfacing to the main fabric. Now I'll head over to the sewing machine and I'll join the pieces together. Then I'll show you what to do next. For the back, there is that on the back of this top. So I'll stitch down the darts on the main fabric and also on the lining. Then I'll show you what to do next. I have joined the front pieces together and I have also stitched down the darts at the back. Now I'll attach the strips to the front and the back. I'll just place it like you see me doing and I'll stitch it down. I have attached the strips and I have joined the lining to the main fabric and I've also closed the zip allowance. Now I will just take the body measurements for this top. I'll join the sides by taking the body measurements and I'll show you what to do next. I have joined the front and back of the top and this is what we have. I'll be adding this flare to the top. I cut out 2.5 inches for the length. And for the width, I cut out ×2 of the waist measurements so that I can have a little bit of gathers. After attaching the flare, I'll fix the zip and I'll show you the finished look. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.